first I want to start with the fundamental thing I think that's changed is really simple. Between 2003 and today is just people, the number of people who have broadband, who have a way to connect, who've looked, worked on a blog, wrote a blog, visited one, communicated, joined the conversation. I think the last day of the Dean campaign, there were 1.4 million blogs in existence. Today, there's somewhere upwards of 80 million. So if you think about the conversation that can happen when there's 1.4 million and there wasn't Media Matters and all these other things, then today that's the biggest significant change. But to answer the question, when you look at what's happened and who's been able to cultivate and build an online community around their candidacy and around the cause, it's been candidates like Howard Dean and Barack Obama who understood bottom up and wanted to empower the bottom versus status quo kind of candidates who think they have their team has all the answers. And even when, and I'm not taking a rap on the Clinton campaign, but it's the best example of this. Even when you have very, very smart bottom-up thinkers like Peter Dow, I mean, they really had some brilliant genius folks there. Those people can't get a damn thing accomplished. I mean, really unleash the energy and the power of the online community if the top of the campaign still wants to run a top-down, we have all the answers, we know how to make things work, and we don't need any ideas from outside, and we don't need anything but money from that online community. So I think, fundamentally, culturally, it's campaigns, like I said, and Howard, I owe a lot to the fact that he let so many of us do what he let us do. But when you look at that and you look at what happened today, we're now 4 years later, and you've got Barack Obama, who's a community organizer, came up that way, and decided that he too was going to, let the bottom empower it. And so I think that's the fundamental difference. And too many can't. By the way, I don't blame anybody. I came up top down. I mean, if you came up in whether Republican or Democratic politics, I worked for Vice President Mondale. I had to, it was like it's an addiction to try to keep control and run it as top down. And that's the beauty of what Howard Dean let us do, understood, and what I think Obama, instinctively knew, and what his campaign was ready to do. And now I think that's the future. It's campaigns the top of the campaign has to understand it and let it happen. And there's only been really 2 or 3 campaigns like that. Like Clark's campaign, I think. The early Clark campaign was like that too.